Hello everyone and welcome to this live Austmine webinar. I'm Sheldon Varco, the Membership Manager in New South Wales and South Australia here at Austmine, and I'm joined today by the team at Damstra Technology and Aframes Safety to explore towards zero harm with integrated enterprise protection. Now this session will focus on the future of enterprise protection in mining with our guest speakers, Christian Damstra, the CEO of Damstra Technology, and Alistair Schuback, CEO of Aframes Safety, discussing the digitisation of risk management, the future of predictive safety, building a high-performance safety culture with safety mindset and technology, among a range of other topics. Following the presentations from Christian and Alistair, there will be an opportunity for audience Q&A. You can use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to send your questions over at any time during the webinar. You can also upvote on the questions that you most want answered, and we'll get to those first in the Q&A session. So without further ado, I'll hand over the team at Damstra to get us started. So I'd like to welcome Catherine Vosper, who's the Chief Sales and Business Development Officer at Damstra, to get the session started. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, Sheldon. Thanks for the introduction and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And thanks, Austmine, for the opportunity to present. So today we're going to start with Christian. And Christian, could you give us an overview of Damstra and our vision for towards zero harm in mining? That would be great.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine, Sheldon. Appreciate you having us along today, and of course, happy to be here with Alistair as well. Let me tell you a little bit about our vision towards zero harm in mining. So, of course, zero harm is all about getting people going to work and returning home in the same condition as they went: good health, no injuries, and etc. For that, an integrated, connected and automated platform is needed. People have to be empowered to apply safety skills to every task with mindful, high-performance thinking strategies. We need to harness the data from the systems, from wearable technology, and as an example, data from environmental conditions, right down to the person's health and well-being whilst they're wearing our wearable items around the sites. Incidents can then be proactively prevented with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and predictive analytics. Damstra's Enterprise Protection Platform is built for this and for the future of predictive safety, with a goal of achieving that zero harm and helping our customers achieve that on a daily basis. Building a high-performance safety culture is only achievable with innovation, technology, and the safety mindset that Alistair will be talking about a little later. Back to you, Catherine.
Yes, thanks, Christian. Alistair, what's your overview of paving the path towards zero harm?
Well, thanks, Catherine. Look, I guess I'll get into the mindset stuff a little bit later, but just to give you an idea, I've been around in mining for a long time, and the idea of zero harm, I think people have a lot of trouble sort of grappling with it in some ways. But if you start to sort of think about it, less so as a goal, but more just a team that's performing at a really high level for a long period of time, it sort of starts to mean you can come at it from a more process sort of environment. So what we've done is, we've been looking at how can we implement some of these high performance thinking strategies within a really tight framework of, existing safety systems and risk management. And it's, it's going really well, and what we've done is, we've got a program now that, gets workers to present with their A game or, with the right mental sort of clarity and control to be able to make really good or optimal risk-based decisions when they do it. And I guess the kicker for us is also a mindset metric, which can give us some sort of lead indication on what kind of decisions or what sort of mindset people are in when they start.
Thanks, Alistair. So going back to you, Christian, how did Damstra start? And what is your story from beginnings as a labour hire company to a global technology company, paving the path to zero harm?
Yeah, really good question, Catherine. I think our story goes back about 20 years now. I'd been working in the mining industry for some time at the coalface, so to say, and we learnt a lot about the opportunities out there during that period. And when we started in labour hire, we found that as our numbers of employees increased, we had the same problem that many other companies have today. How do we keep those people safe every single day, no matter where they are or what they're doing? And it soon became very apparent to us that the only way we could do that would be with technology. And technology is something that you've got to embrace in your organisation so that you can really achieve that type of outcome. what we found is when you start managing, 50 people, 100 people, we had 200 people at one stage. They're out in the field every single day. I mean, what are their skills? What are their qualifications? When are they expiring? All those basic things come into play. And if we can manage those well, then our ability to keep people safe increases. Then you start moving down to, well, what about their readiness for work, their fitness for duty, and all of those types of things. And that's where we really kicked off. We built our system based on looking after our own people. And from there, it was picked up by a couple of our customers and grown to where it is today. Today, as a provider of enterprise solutions, we are a global organisation. We work across 11 countries, 15 industries, including mining, construction, energy, utilities, and more recently, we've expanded into food and beverage and healthcare. There's some major opportunities in those industries because when you peel the covers back, they've all got the same problems as what we originally had in mining. The success of our solution is demonstrated by our expanding geographic footprint, and it's now used by clients in the United Kingdom, Holland, Antarctica, Hong Kong, Singapore, the Philippines, and the USA, just to name a few. We're a proven technology. We partner with more than 670 companies worldwide and keep over 680,000 workers safe on a daily basis. Today, there are more than 250,000 drug and alcohol tests that are being conducted on a monthly basis across all of our clients around the world. The solution generates more than 120,000 safety alerts and notifications per month. And all of this is trying to keep workers safe and lead them towards zero harm.
Christian, you said Damstra is all about protecting organisations around the globe, reducing incidents and increasing safety. What do you think about zero harm?
Yeah, look, zero harm is absolutely achievable, and it's something that a lot of people talk about and they focus on. And I'm not sure that everybody has the mindset that we can actually achieve zero harm, but we have to believe in it and we have to go after it. So I think, look, our path towards zero harm, we're focusing at a Damstra level and paving the path to zero harm environments, protecting the 4 largest areas of your business and investment at risk. So that includes your people, your places, your assets, and your information. Protecting these 4 risk areas are helping us to create that zero harm environment. And that's certainly our mission here at Damstra. We do this through helping our customers protect their organisation from unnecessary and unforeseen business risks. Through our solutions, we ensure that you have prepared people, you have safe workplaces, you have connected assets, and you have accessible information.
And this brings us to Damstra's Enterprise Protection Platform that we've mentioned, otherwise known as the EPP, a fully integrated safety platform. Can you tell us more about the EPP and how it helps towards zero harm?
Yeah, absolutely, Catherine. For many years, we've had lots of different products, solutions, and different parts of our platform. What we've done is we've pulled all of that together and called it the EPP, the Enterprise Protection Platform. It's positioned in the enterprise software stack, sitting alongside Oracle, Salesforce, or AWS in infrastructure, for example. And we easily and seamlessly integrate into any of these enterprise-wide applications and platforms using our open API infrastructure. Integral to the EPP is the Damstra Hub. It's the one place our customers can access all of our different solutions. To ensure protected people, we have Damstra's workforce management system, learning management, and virtual reality. For safe workplaces, we have our access control, our digital forms, our safety, and our connected worker solution, Solo. Assets are connected through integrated asset management, enabling asset mobilization and offerings, including RFID and IoT. And lastly, accessible information. It's great to have all this data being collected, but what are we going to do with it? We have the reporting, we have the BI tools, and of course, let's not forget our predictive analytics that we're investing very heavily into right now. They're critical to ensuring our customers are making informed decisions and armed with accessible information. That's available to all organisations in the one platform, the one interface, the Damstra Hub, Catherine.
Thanks, Christian. And after you'll talk a little bit more about predictive safety and the future of protection.
Yeah, that's correct, Catherine. But what I might do is I might actually just share my screen really quickly and just show you a couple of live sessions of our Enterprise Protection Platform.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing and let you take over, Christian.
Excellent. Hopefully you can all see my screen now.
Yes.
So very easily we can see through the EPP dashboard that we can see all of the people on our site right now. Now that's not just your contractors, it's your permanents, your visitors, and everybody alike in the one platform. Makes life very easy to go to that one location. Now, not only can we see it in that view, we can actually see it where we can see the a map of the globe and see exactly who's on what location in real time at any point in time. So it's all at the click of the button. From there, of course, we have an employee profile where here we have one of our employees. We can see what access they have to what sites. We can see their qualifications, their worksite skills. We can even store their documentation, their expiry dates, and all that information, and not only alert the contractor companies, but we can alert the individual and, of course, the organisation. And, of course, as I was saying before, it's all accessible through the one hub, so we can keep going through our different sections, health and safety, and go straight into our safety system where we can manage our corrective actions, our risk management, our compliance types, our events, and all those types of things, all in the one system. And of course, we can turn on our digital forms. So every form you use today, whether it be a permit or a working at heights document or a confined space document or whatever it might be, can be done in our paperless form system called SAM. All of that can be measured through here as well. Now, not forgetting Solo, our people tracking system, where we can see in real time where your people are, if they have a slip, trip or fall, or whether there's an emergency that they would like to report to us, so we can get them the help that they need if they're in any situation that they're uncomfortable with. You can see I checked in here with a 12-hour profile, and I'm just going to bring my phone up on the screen here in just 2 seconds, which is why that number popped up there, to show you the actual app in operation. So if I'm out in the field, whether it be a remote worker on a mine site, going out to check the power poles at the back of the mine, I'm out there alone, it's the middle of the night and something goes wrong and I miss my check-in. I can have a 1 hour check-in, a 2 hour check-in. And this is telling me every 12 hours I need to check in. Right here, I can touch that and say, I'm good, and it resets it for another 12 hours. Of course, if I've had an issue, a trip, a slip or a fall, or I'm wearing a wearable with a watch and my heart rate's elevated, an alert can be automatically generated and can go back to the control center for some action to be taken. You can see there that my alert's been generated live on the website there behind here, and action can be taken on that alert and they can actually contact me to make sure I'm okay. Of course, I'm going to end that alert because I am okay, and everything will go back to normal there. The other thing, of course, I spoke about before was our paperless form module. The ability to go in and create any form that you need on your site, whether it be some example ones here, an environmental form, a hot work permit, an incident report, or even a COVID checklist. So if I want to go into a COVID checklist, it'll take my geolocation. I can ask yes, no questions. I can have signatures. I can have photos, videos, and the like. And of course, the most powerful thing is when that form's finished, all that data is usable. And by usable, it means we can download the PDF and have that PDF generated in any format we choose. And that then automatically goes back into the Enterprise Protection Platform and is available for future reporting needs. Catherine, back to yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. So I'll just go back to our presentation. That's great. So thanks, Christian. Damstra has been working with the mining industry for a long time, and we've seen some fantastic business benefits for mining organisations through the platform, including increased safety and production, cost and time savings, improved data quality and more. Could you give us a couple of examples, Christian?
Yeah, absolutely, Catherine. I mean, if we take our digital forms solution, for example, I mean, we've rolled that out into many different customers now, but we have a major mining company here in Australia who are already using our prepared people solutions in the EPP and wanted to digitise their forms and their workflows to contribute towards that prepared people and safe places. I mean, the solution we put together with them, the digital form solution is integrated across the EPP, automatically updated the data and forms against the workers' profiles, ensuring the correct information is across the entire organisation. Fields are automatically populated with the relevant information, removing any error. Automated progress gates stop assessments if the desired conditions are not met. Users are automatically assigned to accounts and work sites. Mobile app can be used anywhere in the field at any time, including offline. Mobile app, multiple levels of approvals, and the forms are locked until the right person approves the form, allowing it to go to the next step. Processes have automated enforced gates, so no shortcuts are made at any part of the process. The business benefits having been the enormous size for the mining company. I mean, the safety culture has been enhanced. Savings of up to 5 minutes of manual data entry per form. I know it doesn't sound like much, but 5 minutes over 600,000 forms for this one client alone, giving savings of over $5 million per year for one client. With the automations, the risk is reduced and the safety and protection has been enhanced. Data quality has improved enormously with one source of truth data, and incorrect data entry is prevented with the inbuilt validations. And of course, communications have improved with the automated notifications across the entire workforce.
Thanks, Christian. So talk to me about the future of protection. What does it look like, and how does that pave the path further towards zero harm?
Yeah, great question, Catherine. I think Damstra has been doing this, as I said, for a long time now, and we carry a lot of data. And off the back of that data, we firmly believe that a major part of our future is in predictive analytics, predictive safety. It really is the future of enterprise protection, and that's what we're building here at Damstra. Innovation is at the core of everything we do. It is intelligent workflows, safety algorithms, AI and machine learning to predict and ultimately prevent those safety risks and incidents from occurring, taking us towards that zero harm environment. Today, protection and safety processes are disconnected and manual. We're creating a future where everything is connected and automated, and where safety risks can not only be predicted, but also prevented. And that is the key, through workflow engines, AI, artificial intelligence, embedded at the inflection points between those different process layers. Next generation of protection includes our predictive scheduling and training workflows for people. For workplaces, it's that geofencing, zone-based protection based on skills and qualifications. For assets, predicting the asset allocation and optimization. And of course, AI-driven risk management. All of this is possible with that strong foundation that we've built in the Damstra EPP and with our ever-expanding API infrastructure. Our third-party integrations with over 150 different systems also allow us to achieve these outcomes as part of the orchestration of the overall solution, and the embedding of advanced AI and machine learning integrations to automate safety processes.
But it's not only technology, is it, that is important in building that high performance safety culture?
No, that's right, Catherine. I mean, we can build the technology, we can set the technology up, but building a high performance safety culture is not only about that, it's also about the mindset. It comes down to those individuals and recognizing and evaluating where people are at before or while they're on the job. And of course, Alistair has been doing a lot of work in that area and working with mining companies for a long time. And he's going to go over what that mindful safety component's about.
Thanks, Christian. So I'm going to bring you into the conversation now, Alistair. The Damstra Mindful Safety program on the Damstra Learning Platform is quite unique. And I know we are really excited about having this on our platform. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, thanks, Christian and Catherine. Look, and I guess probably a little bit of history here as well. Again, I've worked in mining for quite a long time. I've been in single a lot of years as well, Christian. But and a lot of, I've trained, I think personally, over 18,000 people. Coached several hundred people, done the risk assessments, etc. And a big part of what I've sort of found is that we talk a lot about skills and structures and things like that. It's really important, but look, if you don't have people applying those skills properly, it doesn't really matter. So I started really looking at what affects how people apply themselves. Whether their A game turns up or their B game turns up, and just really seeing whether there's going to be something in that. And in my experience, and we've been working in this space, there's a lot in it, and what that really looks like is if you start talking about high performing teams, a big part of that is mindset, you know, and whether someone really is engaged, whether they're switched on, they want to be part of it, and all that sort of gear. So what the Mindful Safety program is and it's been proven, like we've done research with Coal Services, the Health and Safety Trust. It's been road tested for, 5-6+ years. And we're just seeing some really good cut through, pretty profound actually. I think the average is about 50% reduction in TRIFR in 12 months. Some sites have about 80-85%. We've had clients win industry safety awards and speak at international conferences. So, it's kind of, I don't know, it's great really, because after working in safety for so long, it's, you want to make sure that you get something. If you're going to do something, it's got to work. And I'm an engineer, and I want to see a process that delivers safety in a sustainable and practical and simple way, and I think we've found, we're really hitting on a key here, because I think the thing that gets me is that people are positive about it. So much about safety can be sort of negative and constraining, but we're seeing enabled people and that, are really keen to turn up and look after themselves rather than just wander around and comply with what's going on. And when you start getting everybody with similar beliefs and they're all aligned and they get that high performance belief structure, then you really start to see the results coming.
Yeah, thanks. So the program examines the processes that are correlated with the identification, consideration and assessment of risk. Can you tell us more about how individual safety mindset helps them with safety decisions?
Yeah, look, and as I was just talking about there earlier, often we assume that, somebody knows something or they have the skills and they're just automatically going to do it. But a lot of the time, they mightn't have the belief system or even the mental control to be able to do this sort of thing. So look, what mindful safety is really about is exactly that, reading it backwards, being safe, but in a really mindful manner. And I mean, I sort of, it's quite clear that, the mind drives the body and drives behavior. So if we get the mind aligned to think the right way, and by thinking the right way, our focus that we've had is just, I guess, optimal risk-based decision making. So many of these incidents and investigations I've been part of, you just see somebody has a mental fade or whatever it is. They don't quite make the right decision at the right time. So what we really want to do is, if you think about zero harm that way, is just have a team performing at a really high level of safety for a long period of time. And so if we start looking at that and what affects how people apply themselves is around that mindset aspect. And look, there's thousands of things that you could possibly put in the mix for, what affects someone's mindset. I think things should be simple. If you want them on the ground and the work, they've got to be simple and they've got to be quick. So we started looking at lots of different factors and sort of boiled it down to 4 that we feel really cut through. And that's risk awareness, safety attitude, emotional control, and safety aptitude. So just unpacking that a little bit is the aptitude stuff is the efficacy gear. So, by risk awareness or hazard awareness, just some people call it situational awareness, but it's just really being in the moment, actually being on the job and giving that job the full bandwidth of your attention, rather than, as some people like to do, be efficient and go and start doing your next job or reflect on the last job. It's like when you're driving your car, you're too busy thinking about what you're doing or where you've been rather than actually drive the car. And so many people aren't fully available for the moment. So giving them the mental control to even see that and to understand what that looks like. Risk attitude, whether they really care. And what we work on a lot is why. It sounds really simple, but a lot of people's why isn't really aligned to their own safety and health and well-being. Most people, why they come to work is for money. But if you start to think about things like that, it's, and you don't preventatively maintain your asset, you're not really going to get a lot of money, and you're not really going to take care of your family and the security that you need. So zero harm is really just looking after yourself for a long period of time. Emotional control or emotional regulation. I've seen a lot of really well-intentioned people just have the wrong emotional balance and make an emotional decision rather than a logical decision. So giving people the mental control, we bolt in a little bit to Kahneman's system 1, system 2 work and around the beliefs and that sort of stuff to give them an ability to regulate their emotions. And the last part, which I think is really, a bit overlooked, which is, I guess, that safety self-efficacy. I was at a site the other day where, it was at a mine site. Well, this is a client of mine, and a guy went out under unsupported roof, and it seems amazing. And this is a guy who's done about 20 or 30 years in the mining game. But the thing that I think was interesting, there was 3 or 4 people that actually knew that was going on. And, why wouldn't somebody speak up? And, hindsight and ICANN, these guys are quite disappointed. So what I think is important is to give people the confidence, I guess, or, you know, the efficacy to speak up for their values around safety and question authority and you know, do what's right. And we give people the idea of, you know, or even I don't know, the view as to why they don't do that, whether it be social, whether it be peer, whether it be authority, however they're getting influenced, and giving them tools to work with that. So, and it's really cutting through, yeah.
One of the things I really love about the program is the selfie as an assessment tool.
Right.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, what I was looking for, because I mean, as Christian's alluded to, you know, data is important. And, you know, it helps us. It helps us make informed decisions, and real-time data is great. And so I kind of thought, well, if someone's going to, you know, have a mindset that's not 100%, how do we know that? How do we know that the A game hasn't turned up? So I really started looking over a number of years at the best way to do this. It's quick and easy. And so we've come up with a safety mindset metric, or I call it a selfie. Sometimes when you take a selfie of yourself, it's not that flattering, but it's true. And so what we're trying to do, and you know, the way it would work is they'd come in to work and go through a little 5-minute assessment to figure out where they're at. And that not only gives them a personal reflection to say, well, look, yeah, I'm not 100% right now. It may actually trigger, and, you know, given all what Christian's talked about, trigger some sort of action or intervention, someone come over and help. Or even give them some information that's customized to what they need at that time. They might say, yeah, I'm really strong on my emotional regulation, but my mindful awareness isn't great right now, you know, for whatever reason that is, you know, fatigue or or kids at home or whatever it is, you know. And so what we've done is tried to get a metric, and I believe, you know, given what I've seen enough incidents over the time, decision making, or, you know, risk-based decision making is really where it's at. So, and give it a close correlation between mindset and that. If you can get a lead indicator on that, and you can align that clearly to TRIFR, you can start to get the predictive analytics going there, then that's extremely powerful. I mean, I have no problems with, you know, lead indicators, like, you know, like hazard reports and interactions, task obs, all that sort of stuff, but it's just a little far removed from the actual, you know, decision-making processes. And if we can get a lead indicator on that, I think that's going to be super powerful.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was really good. Christian, do you have any concluding remarks?
Yeah, just a really quick one. Alistair, really great information there. I really like the idea of the selfie, and I think it's really pertinent to say the EPP and even the work that Alistair is doing, none of it's possible without partnering with customers and really understanding what their challenges are, what their needs are, and really working together as a team to go, you know, we can make this better and we can achieve zero harm if we work as a team. And I think that's extremely important, and certainly one of our values moving forward, and certainly has been for the 20 years through to now, because we wouldn't be where we are today without their knowledge. Thanks, Catherine. Thanks, Alistair.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. I'm now going to pass back to Sheldon for any questions.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for that, Catherine. Well conducted on the session there. And Christian, thanks a lot for taking us through the Damstra journey. I know it's been a quick and quite exceptional growth journey for you guys, and good to see the technology in action there as well. And Alistair, I think your thoughts were great, and particularly around behaviours quite pertinent at the moment, especially me being based here in Sydney with the behaviours going on with the COVID pandemic. So thanks a lot for that. We might actually kick off on that topic as we have a question here. So the question is, how has the Damstra platform helped mining organisations manage COVID considerations? And you did touch on this a little bit, Christian, with the mobile app. They've asked for some examples of this as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a great question. What I'll actually do really quickly is I will throw up my screen again, because there's a few things that we've done. If you just bear with me for 2 seconds to get the Zoom screen up here, and I will talk to it. Here's the first one I want to share. So the first one is very early on in the piece. I'll show this short video here.
There he is.
And there I am. So very, very early in the piece, we added the ability to have temperature taking at the terminal, and take the reason to touch the terminal away from the different sites. So with facial recognition, taking the temperature, the sites lost no access to the information. They still log them in, log them out, but zero touch. And that was picked up by a number of our large mining clients, particularly here in Australia, and even one of our customers in Africa. So that was really well received.
Cool.
The other things we've done to assist the customers is actually COVID questionnaires. So we actually have done COVID questionnaires at the terminal. We've also done online COVID questionnaires that they must do before arriving on site. And if they're not done, then we actually alert the site to the fact they weren't done, or we'll block access to the site based on that information. But the other thing that we did was we actually put together a workspace booking module. So when you've got a workspace that's been restricted due to COVID, the number of people that can be in your office or in the location, you can actually book into that workspace, whether it be an office, a car park, or any of those types of things, to make sure you're not exceeding those community guidelines. So we have done a lot around the COVID. And we also have one customer in the US who's actually tracking COVID vaccinations, which is an interesting one. So there really is no limit to what you can track with the tool. It's all configurable. It is industry agnostic when you break it right down. And we have that flexibility. So that's certainly some areas we've helped customers with COVID. If I just jump back to the thermal imaging camera really quickly, one of our customers in the very early days of COVID rolled out thermal imaging cameras, and they're very expensive. They spent about $1.5 million putting them on every one of their mine sites, and they man them because somebody has to walk in front of it. It goes green tick, red cross, and somebody says, oh, you can't go on site. And they actually had to manage it. And what they found was that was costing them around about $25,000 per site per month just to run the thermal imaging camera. They actually shelved the entire $1.5 million investment in thermal cameras and replace them all with our thermal imaging cameras that are part of our terminals, so that it can be totally unmanned. Temperature, gate doesn't open, temperature, alerts for first aid or whoever it might be on site. You don't need to have gates, you can control it all that way. And they saw a major cost reduction as well as increasing the stability of their network. So some great opportunities there.
Cool.
Excellent. Yeah, that's quite comprehensive in how the platform's being used. And I'm sure it's also being used quite differently across different jurisdictions as well, as you mentioned there with the USA example. So thanks a lot for that. Looking at another question here, this is probably more on the technical side of things. So a question here, how does the Damstra platform integrate and access information from other systems that may be used on mine sites?
Yeah, good question. And orchestration for us is what we call it. It's one of the most important parts of our platform. We have to be able to orchestrate the moving and the sharing of data between many different systems, over 150 different systems today that we integrate with. Now, we integrate with those systems in many different ways. We have open APIs, we have custom APIs, we have XML, we can even do the old flat file integrations. It really comes down to what is it you've got and how do you need us to work with that to give you the tools you need. And of course, it's not just one way integration either. We go both ways. We have customers who take our information and put it into their data lake, for example, to streamline their business reporting. So we're open to sharing, and we believe that's a really important part of creating a safer work environment.
Excellent, and that is really the future too of any system you're using on a mine site. You really need to be open to sharing that information for the benefit of the organisation at the end of the day. So that's good to hear. Another question, this is actually one that I was wondering as well, so I'm glad it's been asked. So when looking at the future of safety, you were talking a lot about predicting incidents, but how does this work when you are factoring in human actions? Is this predicting human behaviours as well?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. I mean, predictive analytics is the future. I mean, to say that we're on that journey, we absolutely are. We've got full-time data scientists and those types of people on staff now working for us, and we're looking forward to where that takes us. We've been doing predictive analytics for a short period of time now. I'm going to say sort of the last 6 to 12 months, and we've had some great results from it. And what we're finding is the more data we put that predictive algorithm over, the better the results we get out of it. And what it's doing is it's actually looking at, it's using some AI and some machine learning and looking at those words that are used in comments and things. So you've got people out there doing your take fives, you've got training courses being done, you've got all this stuff happening, and then you've got incidents occurring. And with all of those things, there's words that line up. So what we're doing is putting the predictive analytics algorithm over the top of all of that data, and it's finding patterns. And some of the interesting things we've found in the very early days, we've had a customer we did a bit of a trial on where we did a very high level trial, and they'd had a number of incidents, And they also do a lot of training and a lot of take fives and all those things. And what the predictive analytics really showed was that all the training they're doing and all the education they're doing doesn't address the actual issues that are occurring on site in real time. And I think that's the power of predictive analytics. You can't see it with the human eye. There's just too much data. So that's something that we're working on. Look, we've got a long way to go, but we're investing very heavily. We're getting great feedback from our customers who are testing it with us and trialing it. And we're going to continue to drive that predictive analytics cycle across the board.
Excellent. I might extend some part of that question to you, Alistair, as well, given what you've been discussing with some of the behaviours and cultures in the mining industry and also other industries. So how do you see that playing a role with technology as it moves forward?
Oh, look, just building on what Christian's saying, look, you know, a lot of the time when they talk about culture, they, you know, it's interesting. I ask a lot of people, you know, how would you define your culture? And, you know, how would you actually, you know, say what it is? And a lot of people don't know what that is. And it's really hard to kick a goal if you don't know what it looks like. So what Christian's doing and coming at it from a lot of different angles, you know, from biometrics or data or whatever, there is a lot of data flying around. And I don't think we collate it and really mine it well enough. We're great at mining, but, you know, there's all these gold nuggets out there and that really can teach you a lot more about your business. And it's funny, when I go in and do these cultural interventions, I often find the answers already on site, but we're just not mining our people well enough. And I just see what Christian's doing and, you know, and Damstra's doing is just going to give us the, you know, as you say, the headspace or the data mining that people can't get their head around, but it becomes clear when you clear all this sort of stuff out. So, you know, one thing I'd say is, you know, I think you're alluding to it, Christian, you know, the language and, you know, type of words that people use, etc., and in the emotional context, that's really important. And a lot of that sort of stuff flies around and people don't understand it or even take notice of it. But, you know, a big indicator is just how people speak, the words that they use, the way they engage with each other, that the relationships within the business is what drives the culture. And, you know, even drives that you can get a real picture on someone's mindset in that space as well. So I actually think it's really exciting. Actually, I just think
it is exciting
stuff happening. You know, like, and you know, if I've got my vote, I think it's nice. It's coming out of Australian mining. You know, and we're really an innovative mob. We lead the world in a lot of stuff, and I think there's some really practical stuff that people are putting forward. And I think you know, it's going to work, and that's the nice thing, because you can sort of sometimes look at this thing and go, that's not really going to add value. But once you get your head around exactly what your people are saying and how they're doing it, and you know where their mind's at, and that it's just. It becomes a hell of a lot easier to solve the problem, you know, and that's so that's how I sort of see it. I think it's great, and it's just going to shed a lot of light on some things that people kind of think are a bit of a dark art, but you start to put some things in front, and it seems a little bit more predictive than you think.
I wholeheartedly agree with that as well, and really important for technology like this to create that step change on the way to zero harm. You know, it's something that the mining industry has been talking about for a long time, but without innovation like this, it's very hard to achieve. So thanks a lot for that. I just have a final question in the chat here. Just someone's just looking for a bit more information about what the Solo platform is, Christian. So could you quickly discuss that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So Solo is really about those people who are working alone or out in the field, and we want to make sure that those people are just as protected as the people who are operating a truck, and we know exactly where they are. So let me give you a few examples of that. We have a large port over in Singapore, so they've got 7,000 people who wear a Damstra Solo watch every single day. And you look at that and go, why would a port worker want to wear a Solo watch? They had an incident some time ago where they actually lost a worker in the hold of a ship because he'd fallen over and he'd hurt himself, and they didn't know, and they shut that ship and the ship went to sea. They had no idea. And it's those types of things that we're protecting against. So you've got that person, you've got these mine sites. We all know how big a mine site can be. I spent the first 10 years of my career as an electrician in the black coal mining industry. And it was not unusual to go out and do power line inspections right out the back of that mine site, all by yourself, 4-wheel driving up and down the hills in all these different areas. But what happens when it goes wrong? Time is the difference between life and death. Knowing that person's safe, knowing they're monitored, knowing that they can just touch their watch or touch their phone on an hourly basis, a 30-minute basis, whatever you set it as, based on the risk. And it's not only that, we can use beacons. So we actually have some customers trialing it on, can we use it for the shot firing zone? So everybody's got to be back near a common beacon out of the shot firing zone before we can actually fire the shot, and those types of things. So, you know, your imagination can go wild. On top of that, Solo incorporates what we call Solo Drive. Solo Drive tracks your driving. Are you speeding? Are you using your phone? Hard acceleration, hard braking, collisions, and all those types of things. It creates a leaderboard and allows you to be compared against your peers. So there's a lot of fabulous things there in Solo that we're really excited about.
No, excellent, and that's something we've had some discussions with some mining organisations with about you know, tracking some of those behaviours in an attempt to change them. So it's really interesting that the technology is leveraged for that aspect of things as well. So that is all the questions that we have and all the time that we do have for the session. So Catherine, I might just quickly hand back to you. If people want to find out a bit more information about some of the things presented today or some case studies and that sort of thing, where should they go to?
Yeah, certainly. They can contact us on our website. We have a lot of information there that they can initially go and have a look at www.damstratechnologies.com. We also have an email address. I'm just trying to bring that up here on the screen, but just let me share the screen again so people can have a look. Just one moment.
No problems. While you're doing that, I will also
Yes.
just let everyone in the audience know that you will receive a copy of the recording and also a PDF copy of the slides in a follow-up email this afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. So the contact details will be on these slides, sales@damstratechnology.com, and there's some phone numbers there, particularly for which region you're in. So yeah, please get in contact. We'd love to talk to you more about what we're doing. We're very proud of it. I'm very excited about where we're headed into the future. So yeah, very keen to talk to anyone who would like more info.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for that, Catherine, and a big thank you as well to Christian, Alistair, and the whole team at Damstra, as well as Kimberly, who's helped to pull this together with Austmine as well. Thanks to everyone who's attended, and we look forward to welcoming you to the next webinar. Stay safe, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Sheldon. Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye.